Hello, people. Welcome back. Yeah? Did you grab a coffee? Yeah? Are you set and ready to go for the next block? I don't hear you. Yes, very slowly, yes. Okay, I promise we're gonna have lunch a bit later, so you will get re-energized, with some food. So I hope you'll be more loud, in the afternoon break. So now we are actually having two parallel things happening. So in the main stage, we have a keynote and a panel that Nenad will just briefly introduce. And in parallel to that, so all the startups, do we have any startups left here? Because most of you should be going to the Klub Dom Omladine in the just next room because the boot camp is starting. So if you haven't, go to the next room, and if you are a startup, there's some mentors there. You will get a pitching training and polish up your pitch for the pitch roast in the prior to lunch. So if you're a startup, go to Klub Dom Omladine. Yeah? Okay. So without further ado, I will give floor to Nenad to introduce the next keynote and a panel. Thank you.
Okay. So now it's the time to actually roll up our sleeves, and get to some work. So what is the key ingredient in any startup ecosystem? It's something that we call angel investing. And it's something that's very important because once you pass the first investment that you have as a startup, which is usually what we call 3Fs, friends, fools, and family, your next investor is really an angel investor. So the Baltics and US have been confirming this trend, and this is what gives us a question. Who are angel investors in our SxSE region, in Southeast Serbia, Southeast Europe, and what is that they most invest in? We want to learn what are the experiences and challenges, and especially how are women increasingly taking up this challenge in our region. So I would like to invite first our panelist, Marta. Where's Marta? Marta is somewhere, yeah? Okay, so Marta, please take a seat here. Marco Nanini. Marco, yeah? Then, who's else? Ivan Nonkovic, yeah? And I think that's it. And then also I would like to invite Michelle. She will be our moderator for the panel. So you guys, please take a seat, and before you start your panel, we'll have Inbal Polak, our guest from Israel, for the first time here in Serbia, to have a keynote. Okay, one more welcome for Inbal. Yeah, please.
Do you want this mic? Do you have a clicker?
Huh?
Clicker?
Yeah, sure.
No, it's okay. I can talk like this. Hi, guys. Hi, panel. Okay. So, my talk in the 10 minutes I've got is to try and answer this question. Are women leading with smart money? Well, before I give you my answer to this question, I would like to ask all of you who are actively managing their financial portfolio to raise your hand. Hi, I can't see you. Raise it and leave it up there. Who is managing his portfolio? Okay. Now, all the men, put your hands down, and all the women, leave it up. So I can see there are some of the women who are interested in investing. Now, I'll ask you to raise your hand again. All of the people here who are using their money and investing it in a smart way. What we mean by that, who is our smart investors, are investing in startups that is not your own startup, okay? Don't tell me I'm investing time, and by that is really money, and that is not what I mean. I mean, are you taking your own money and investing it in other people's startups? So please raise your hand. Hi. All the men, put your hands down. Please look around you. How many women have their hands up? Okay. So this is how many women are leading with smart money. Okay, so after we raised our hands up, I will tell you this, women are not to blame. Because first of all, to invest money, first you have to own money, right? And women have not been owning money for a very long time. Today it's changing all around the world. I can tell you that in China, a few years ago, if a man would have a lot of money and then he wanted to inherit it, then he would inherit it to his son. But if he doesn't have a son, he would inherit it to another person's son and not to his daughter. But in the last decades, women can get education in China, and today we see many women, Chinese women, owning big businesses, getting inheritance and having wealth. Secondly, the fact that women were not owners of capital affected their interest in investing, right? If you are not interested in something, then you're not educated about it. And then you feel that you have no knowledge. And when you have no knowledge, you are not feeling confident. So women are not confident when it comes to talking about money. From my own experience, I want to tell you, I'm a fund analyst, and I've been lecturing for many years about how to rate a fund or how to select a fund and invest in it. And this is a very niche profession in the capital market. And when I used to lecture about it to an audience, which is a heterogenic audience with men and women, people used to ask me questions. Do you think women ask questions in these lectures, in these panels? Well, I can tell you that, of course, men asked questions, but women didn't. And I can tell you, girls, not all their questions are very smart, but the fact that they're asking means that they are interested, and that means that they are taking away something. Now, this comes to contrary to the fact that women are better investors. We had Thomas, I think, that talked about the research that they made showing that women get more results, more returns. When looking at a woman and how she invests, mostly women ask more questions, do more research. We invest for a long time. We don't do many turnovers of our portfolios. That means that we don't pay a lot of commissions. So my answer to the questions, are women investing smartly? Yes, of course we are, but just not enough. It is up to the women to change this. And for us to change it, it begins with owning the idea that we're responsible. And we're responsible not for our own gain, not for me doing good investments and that my portfolio will gain more money. It is my responsibility for other women and girls. Because do you think that a young woman coming to an old investor man, this is mostly the typical way, trying to get funded for an organic tampon, do you think he would invest in that? I want to tell you that investors invest in things that they relate to. But furthermore, they invest in founders that resemble them. Studies done from 2017, published by Harvard Review, show that this is a study done on Swedish VC funds, showing how men are described versus how women entrepreneurs are described. I look at 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth. The woman is described good-looking and careless with money. Women are described poorly. Men entrepreneurs are described much more brave and knowing what to do with money. Another report that was published talks about the questions the VC teams ask entrepreneur who is a female and entrepreneurs who are male. The questions that male entrepreneurs are being asked are promotive questions. And when you are asked a promotive question, this is the answer that you will give. Women, on the other hand, are asked preventive questions. How will you keep the money? How will you not take risks? And again, if you are asked these questions, the way that you will answer is not by showing that you know how to grow your company. So, as investors invest in a problem that they want to solve, and in founders that resemble them, we decided to act and found Know Me. Know Me is a women investing club. We want to raise the number of women who invest actively, because we know that if there will be more women investors, then there will be many more women founders getting funded. I will finish by something inspirational, because I'm the inspirational before the panel. Please, if you educate a man, you get an educated man. But if you educate a woman, you educate a whole generation. I don't know if you know, but in Israel we've got Bedouins. Bedouins are people who, before Israel was a country, used to lived in tents and moved from one place to another. Education was far away from their daily thing. Women Bedouins in the last decade are getting education, are getting first degree. And we know that they won't go and be startups or work in startups or be women entrepreneurs. They go back and they build a family. But research shows that women who get an education, their sons will also get an education. And these sons, when they grow old, maybe they'll be entrepreneurs themselves. So, thank you.
The essentials, water and microphones, right? So thank you very much for those words about women investing. We appreciate it. Appreciate your perspective from Israel. We have perspectives from Spain via Croatia, Serbia, and Italy. So I want to welcome all you to the panel here today. We only have 30 minutes, and as you can see from the last panel, it has to go pretty quickly. So what I want to start off with was talking a little bit about what are some of the advantages and motivations for being an angel investor. What has motivated you to start investing? You have a big interest in investing, so let's talk a little bit about that. We have 2 microphones, we can share those there, and I'd be open to any of you guys jumping in and telling us why you like angel investing, what's good about it, what's challenging about it. Let's talk a little bit about it.
Shall I?
Yes, please.
Well, I love angel investing. I've been in the field for 13 years, and I'm expert on angel investing. And what happened is that when I wanted to be angel, I didn't have money, and when I had money, there were constraints in the public institution that I was working, and I couldn't invest. So I decided to be angel investor for passion, and because also, I mean, there's no hidden agenda. It's to make money too. But also, like, it's not about me making money. It's about everybody else being better off.
And how many deals have you done over the last few years?
So far, I started last year, and I have 2 closed and some on the table. I don't have rush. I want the best projects. So.
Okay. Any other comments?
Thanks. So I'm going to talk from, I'm a lawyer, so I'm going to talk from advising point of view, not very interesting as Marta's one, but still needs to be covered. So I think that at the moment this market is great for angel investing. Economy was doing fairly well recently, and people are now looking where to invest, and unfortunately this region's capital markets are really underdeveloped. So basically if you want to invest, you don't have like regular investment opportunities like anywhere else. If you want to invest in shares or bonds or mutual funds or something like that, it's really hard. If you want to invest abroad, it's also very complicated because of the Serbian foreign exchange rules, and just an interesting thing. For example, under Serbian laws, you are actually forbidden to have a bank account abroad unless you are a resident abroad or similar. So it's actually really hard to do something with your money here. And having that perspective, then you have like really thriving tech community here and tech ecosystem, which really lacks funding, because money is pretty scarce here still. So therefore, if you have some money to invest as an angel investor, you will have actually a lot of opportunities, and it's also fairly, fair to say that it's a buyer's market. So you actually, you're the one who could be picky here.
Marko, you want to give us your perspective on why you're an angel investor?
I don't know why, honestly. Like most of the angel investor, we start for casualty, or it's happened, and we have the opportunity to invest in a startup, and then I discovered that this is a job, and it's called angel investor. So I start in this way, and it's very. There is a lot of reason why I continue to do this job, is because it's very, of course, it's passionate. There is a passion to see new business that's born and grow and so on, and the money, of course. Actually, I have more than 30 startups. I invest in more than 30. I did some write-off, unfortunately. I do some exit, so it's good.
Balances out a little
Balance.
bit.
For the moment, balanced.
For the moment.
I hope it's better in the future.
Inbal, do you want to talk a little bit about your investment process? What's the process that your club goes through with respect to helping to educate your club, talking about the time horizons that you're going to be involved with the startup, sort of shaping the perspective of the investors?
Okay. So if we started Nomi because the goal was to bring more women to be angel investors. We wanted more women to take their own money and invest in other people. Women, as I just told you, were not investors. So we've got to go through a process of education to learn how to invest. We always say nobody is born an investor, right? We learn how to invest. So we've got this very structural process. We've got our lead investors, 10 savvy women who already have business and investing experience. And with them, we build this screening process. We screen the startups, and this is a call for you all. You can send me, and through our website, your one-pager. We screen the one-pager. We see if we can invest in it. If it is in the borders that we have put in front of us. This is something an investor has to do. You have to know what stage are you going in and how much money can you invest. Are you investing one time and then you put most of your money the first time, or are you keeping money for following rounds? After we do the screening, we bring the startup to pitch in front of all of our members. They have 20 minutes. They pitch, then we ask them questions. After they leave, we have a discussion, which is most important because we've got all the questions talking about risk. You guys here in Serbia, you talk a lot about that the people, the investors or the potential investors feel a lot of risk when investing in startups. Well, Of course, it is very risky. It is not the question, is it risky or not? Is how can these founders with this specific product, with this technology, will they have a chance to beat the risk, okay? If the investors are members, they are pro and they like the founders, they like the idea, we have a due diligence process. We pick 3 members. One, a lead investor who can lead the investment, put money first. Other is a professional member who has background in that same industry that the startup is trying to better. And the third is a first-time investor. We bring her on so she will learn from the process. We do the due diligence, we write a report, and then we send it out to our members. Then we have an investment committee, and we discuss again the results. After that, each woman, each member of the investment club decides on her own, individually, if she wants to invest and how much. So that is our process, and we really try to keep it short, between 3 to 5 weeks, from the first time we see a startup until we tell how much money we want to invest or not.
Any differences in your processes that you guys want to share? Talk a little bit about your deal flow, where some of your opportunities come from.
Well, I think the region has a lot of opportunities, and that's why I'm here. There's a lot of talent. I would say that in our network, things are more lean. Like, for me, the due diligence process is to look on the founder's eye and to see, like, what do they tell me? Like, everything counts since the very first moment. So I want to have interaction to see if the founders are responsible, if they are sending me the information on time, if the project indeed is coherent. So I'm very demanding on this side. I'm also expert in the Horizon 2020 project for the European Commission and also in the EBRD. So the investment process for me, it's really like it's in my head. It's almost, it's natural. But I think it's very important to put the weight in the founders, in the people, because a good project can be like destroyed by a bad team, but a bad project can be pivoted by a great team. So I look for great people. And also with values, that's my impact side. No, I don't want people who want just to make money. I want people who want to change the world. So yeah. And in terms of diversity, I love diversity in general. So I think women and men can make amazing investments, and not only that, also different cultures within the region. And I'm for it, no, to collaborate with anybody. So I think that's the best way to invest. It's different minds looking for the same project can have much more results.
And what are some of the sources that you use for your deal flow?
Well, you can see for the European Business Angel Network that the main sources are like trusted people. Like these events are like one of the main sources, and the other are like somebody's talking to you about somebody that that has seen, and it's word of mouth basically.
We have, like Impact Hub, we are an incubator, and we have created 2 groups of business angel. One is called Impact Angel, and the other one is an angel for women. It's only female business angel that invest only in female startup. And for these 2 groups, we are create a good deal flow, because we are present in all the jury of the contest that we are in Italy, especially in Italy, not only in Italy, but the focus of our group is mainly in Italy. And so due to this, we are present in all the contests, and we have a deal flow approximately of 500 startups a year. And we select for the both group there is the office that do a first screening, and then we present to we put in a platform for all the angel investor the opportunity. The angel investor decide which is the best, and we met them in a meeting. Generally, in every 2 or 3 months, we did a meeting, and during the meeting, we have the opportunity to see the pitch and to do a question and answer. And if there is a soft commitment, we decide with the due diligence, and then we decide to invest or not. The process is not so quick like in other countries. In Italy, it's approximately the process from when we have the first pitch in our hand to the investment, it's approximately 4 to 5 months. It's not so quickly. Like in US, it's 2 weeks generally.
Well, the process could be, our process of due diligence can be limited. Of course, it takes time to raise the money. So sometimes startups, entrepreneurs come to us and say, the raise, we're finishing the round, do you want to go in? There's little time to decide. And then we meet them, we decide not to invest, or we're waiting or whatever. And then we meet them 2 months later and 3 and 6 months later. And, do you want to invest? I'm keeping your, slot. I'm keeping your slot. So it's a kind of a marketing tool for entrepreneurs to come and say, there's no time, we're closing the round, come on aboard or don't, bother. So, but I do think that we have to, as investors, we have to limit the time that we are using the entrepreneur, because the most important thing that an entrepreneur needs in these early stages, and they're working so hard, they need time. They don't have to come and explain to me again and again and again. And I'm looking for things that happen. Have you processed? Or do you have the FDA? Did you hear from them? It doesn't happen so fast. So it's the risk that we're taking when we're investing.
Any other comments on the timelines?
Yeah, I would just like to add, we heard great insights on process from the moment when you actually decide to invest until you actually find the right opportunity. So maybe just to add a few points on actually the process when you actually sit and talking to the guys that you're going to give them your money. And at that point of time, it's very important to manage expectations from both sides, so that all parties are on the same page, who are getting what and who is giving what. So the guys from startup, they need to know what they are, how much money they are getting, but also they need to know what is expected from them, how they can use that money. They need to have a clear plan how they are going to use that money, how they are going to put it in use and similar. On the other hand, investors, they need to know what's their role. They cannot expect that they are going to be CEO and run the company. So this can be quite challenging in emerging markets, especially like in Serbia and surrounding, because the market is young, and still there were not that many opportunities, and market practice is still not that well created. And in that sense, it's very important, to talk to other people, to see what are the other experiences, and to see how this actually works usually, so that you know what you can expect, that you're sure that you know that if you invest certain amount of money, you won't get 50% of shares, or you need to know how much you can give, and not how much you can give, but how much you can get for what you are giving, and vice versa. Startup needs to know how much money they can get for what they are giving. So it's really important that once the process is on, that everybody is on the same page how that works actually, and what's the practice usually in the business.
So how do you guys manage your sort of self-education process with respect to new technologies, new investment vehicles, bringing on new people in your group to invest with? What's the whole process for keeping yourself current? And then what's the process for managing your own anxiety, for example, that may come up in the process? Don't all talk at once.
Well, I'll start. It's easy for us because we've got more than 40 members. Each of our member comes from a different background, and she's done things in her life. We've got CEOs of big companies, listed companies. We've got marketing, doctors, financiers, everything you can think. I think the only startup that we brought to a pitch and we didn't have the knowledge inside of our members was gaming. Nobody worked in gaming, but at least 5 of our members had connections to people that know gaming and are in the industry. And what happens is that as the screening committee or the due diligence team, we go and meet these people from the industry. In Israel, everybody knows everybody. It's a small country. I think you have it here. You should have it here in Serbia. We just ask someone to intro. Please intro this professor or this, you know, a cybersecurity tech guy, so I can ask him questions, and we will always know someone who knows someone, and we do that, and people are very willing to give us knowledge.
Well, I have different formulas. The first one is to listen actively to people who are older than me and who have much more experience. That's a very good learning point. The second one is like we organize a Business Angel Academy, so that means that I'm the academic director, so I need to learn a lot and to study before I like deliver these classes. And of course, I also have to go to school. I'm consultant, like strategic consultant, and I had to go to make a program on artificial intelligence in MIT, because I'm also evaluator for artificial intelligence, fintech, and medical devices. So these are my formulas. And how do I manage anxiety? Well, being humble. So I don't know everything. And I'm very happy to listen to the other people as I start and to learn from them. So I don't have any problem to say, I don't know what is this. Could you please explain it to me?
In terms of knowledge about new technology or something like this, we try to have some expert. Every time we present startups in a meeting with the angel, we try to have some expert on different technology, on different things, in order to show what is the new coming in the business. And the part more problematic is how to involve new people to become business angel. And we try to do not education but more evangelization on this topic. So we try to do some event where we explain how to become a business angel, what is the risk, what is the passion, like today, and similar things, and what is the skills that is necessary in order to invest, and what is the risk, because a lot of people start with, it's beautiful, I put 1 million or 100,000 euro, and they lose all the money the first time, and they stop to invest, and this is not useful. So this is the main important things in Italy. So try to have more business angel that are conscious of what is the job, what is the risk of the job, what is the passion of this job.
What worked best for me was just talking to people. So use every opportunity you have to go to all meetups, conferences, networking events, and everything. I mean, the best way to learn is to actually talk to people and ask them questions and get their experience. And basically, if you see that somebody has some information that you actually need, it's completely okay to reach out and send them email or call them, ask them for like a lunch or a coffee or beer, whatever, and just talk to people. And that's, for me at least, that was working the best. And the other thing is also reading. Just, I mean, me personally, I'm getting like a dozen of different newsletters every day. I of course don't read them all, but you just skim through titles and see what's interesting for you. So you just need to find right media, right people to follow on Twitter, LinkedIn, whatever, and just you just need to be you need to be pretty much everywhere in order to get, I mean, you will get like 99% of information that you get, you are going to throw away, but this 1% that will actually work for you will be very, very, very useful, which will make actually the difference.
Amazingly, our time is up. It goes really fast, but I have a quick question, and we'll start with Inbal at the end, and we'll just go very quickly. What's the best thing about angel investing? And then we'll just go right down the line. What's the best thing?
About angel investing?
Yes, what's the best thing about angel investing?
Helping new innovation and solving problems, I guess.
Okay, right?
I guess it's very inspirational and very interesting. It really, really keeps hooked you up.
Okay.
Smart capital, meaning by that not only money, but also contribution and transfer your knowledge and network, and at the end of the day, collaborate with everybody.
Okay, you can do potentially a lot of money, but this is not the main things. It's, of course, probably all the angel investors are very curious about new technology, new business, new people, meeting this kind of people.
Well, thank you all very much for participating today.
Thank you. Thank you.